He doesn't like it. Let me tell you that much. He did not like that. And he's not gonna like this either. What is that? Like a 7-second cooldown on our ultimate? Let's get the super ready. Here we go. Oh my god, she got destroyed. She got absolutely destroyed. So we're gonna start off with the Descendant modules. We're gonna break everything down because I have two different ways you can play this build. One is gonna be a little bit more on the lower HP, and when I say lower, I mean like around like 8 to 10,000 HP, which is still really good, don't get me wrong. But there's going to be another variation where you're going to have higher HP. For all the people that don't know, I do stream both on YouTube and on Twitch. We have a super chill community. I help my viewers with boss kills. And if you're also interested in some cool builds, make sure to hop in. I would love to see every single one of you guys live on stream. So the main thing that we're going to focus on in this build is extremely low cooldowns for our ultimate, which means that even though right here it says 22.3 second cooldown, it's going to be below 10 seconds, which is ridiculous for this super. And the reason that's going to happen is multi-talented. But first, let's start with our Transcendent mod, which is going to be truly deadly cuisine. Significantly increases the damage of Giant Fireball. When Giant Fireball explodes, small fireballs and flame zones do not spawn. It just turns into a single target high damage skill. Gives you like the sorcerer kind of vibes and amazing character overall. I'm also going to be uploading a video about a build on Blair that is amazing for farming. You can easily do the Valby farm with that build. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be working on that video in the next few days. So this is going to be the first Transcendent mod. Then I'm going to be using increased HP. This will give us the ability to sit at around 9,000 HP. This will mean that you're not going to be super squishy. You're going to have pretty good survivability just with this mod right here. Then one of the most important mods for this build is multi-talented. When using the Dimension active skill cooldown minus 20.5%. And this is what makes this build work, okay? It's very powerful for this setup. Next one is focus on fire, just direct increase to fire skill power. And on top of that, we get more skill cooldown, which is perfect, right? MP conversion for insane amount of skill cooldown. Frontlines gives us skill critical hit damage and skill critical hit rate. And critical hit rate is important with this build. You will have some instances where it's not going to be a crit. However, that will rarely happen. And there is one thing you can do to make your critical chance go up and make it more consistent when it comes to critical damage. We're going to discuss that. Long distance maneuvering, skill concentration to increase the skill critical hit damage, nimble fingers, obvious skill cooldown, skill insight, once again for skill critical hit rate increase, emergency measures, and fire syncytium. These two mods here at the end are very, very important for increased damage, right? So this is the variation of the build where you're going to have around 9,000 HP. One thing you want to know, the final slot right here, I leave untouched. The reason I did that was to have different ways to build this. And that's what I meant when I said more HP, which is going to bring us to the next variation of the build. And you will see right here that even though we have all of these things pretty much the same, on the last slot, we have HP amplification. It's only going to go up to 12. You're not going to be able to max it out. However, this will bring your HP up by 3,000, which is great. That's like approximately a 33% increase in your HP, which is huge, right? Like it makes your survivability much more comfortable. You're not going to be worried about dying easily. However, you will sacrifice a little bit of damage, and that's going to be up to you. Everything apart from that is the same on this build. You're just going to use HP amplification in the last slot if you want more HP. That's about it, okay? So do keep that in mind. Now, let's talk about the reactor. This is very important for this build. The reactor is upgraded, as you guys can see, and I have skill critical hit damage, and I'm also using the ultimate reactor to take advantage of that extra 20% skill power increase. Now, I was farming one for Afterglow Sword, which is one of the most powerful snipers in the game, and it's just amazing for boss kills in general. So this was a perfect combination for me. And a lot of the times you can, for example, break the weak spots with this weapon and then go in, drop fire on the boss, absolutely annihilate him with your supers. And I say supers because you're going to be spamming that, right? It doesn't have to be Afterglow Sword mounting. Obviously, it depends on what ultimate weapon you're running. In the perfect case scenario, you want skill critical hit damage on this and skill critical hit rate or skill cost reduction. Those two are going to be absolutely perfect. I'm still going to be farming for this one. Hopefully I get a better one, but for now, this will do. When it comes to the external components, we're going to be using the Slayer set. This gives us skill power increase by 26.1%. And not only is it good for this, but it pretty much increases your weapon DPS as well, round per magazine, by 9%. Which adds up DPS for your weapons. This is a very powerful set if you're trying to create skill damage builds. And man, I'm telling you, it has been so much fun to use this build on Blair. Literally do everything on Blair now. That's how much fun I'm having with this character. Let's take a look at our rolls on our components. On this one, we have max HP. We rolled a gold stat here, which is perfect. However, in the second slot, I have a blue stat. In the perfect case scenario, you want a purple or a gold. MP recovery out of combat does come in handy. On the second one, we have max MP. This is extremely, once again, very, very important. You need to roll max MP on this item. This is what makes it possible for you to have like 2 full rotations of the supers, which will be destroying bosses. And then you can just move around, get your MP back out of combat, or pick up the MP from the ground. You guys know how it goes. On the third one, we have defense. Once again, I rolled a yellow number here. And then finally, max shield and shield recovery modifier. I'm not quite sure what other things can roll on this one specifically. I'm going to have to look into that. I am going to be farming this set over and over just to get the best of the best. You can still make this build a little bit better. You really can, and I am 100% going to be perfecting it because it is easily the favorite build I've ever created and the most fun I've had in the game. So for the weapon, I'm going to be using Afterglow Sword. You guys already know this is my favorite sniper in the game. These are the mods I'm going to be running on the Afterglow. One of the most important ones is weak point expansion. I absolutely love this on my snipers. For the second weapon, Eternal Willpower. Now guys, listen to me. I am going to turn this weapon into something insane. I was doing some testing and I know exactly what kind of mods I'm going to be going for. Now I finally have time after finishing the build on Blair, which took a lot of time, and to create really powerful setups in this game, it takes time. So now that I'm done with that setup, I am going to focus on Eternal Willpower. I have an amazing build in mind, and I think it's going to be absolutely insane when I finish this weapon. Probably is going to take me 1 or 2 days. I'll upload that video as well, so stay tuned. But yeah, these are the mods: Rifling Reinforcement, Insight Focus, Fire Rate Up, Recycling Genius, Better Concentration, Better Insight, and Action and Reaction. We're going to be adding some more damage mods and some other things that I have in mind there. The final slot goes to Piercing Light. We're pretty much not going to be using this currently. I just swap in between these two weapons. The Eternal Willpower destroys the little ads, and then if I need to break the weak points, that's when I swap to Afterglow Sword. You're going to drop 3 of these for your rotation. Then you're going to throw your ultimate. A lot of damage. You're going to wait for it. You're going to drop few more if you want to, depending on the mana you have. Usually, as long as you have 3 of them up while you're throwing it, you're good to go. So that is going to be the rotation, right? But let's say you're struggling with mana, you don't have the perfect piece. What you're going to do in between, you are going to use your Extinguish to get some mana back. So for example, you're going to drop these. Again, always have at least 3 up. Going to throw your ultimate, right? And then if you need mana, you're going to go for Extinguish. And look at the mana. Boom, it goes up, right? And then you can start the rotation again. This is going to be up to you. It depends really what kind of setup you have. If you have enough mana, you're not going to need this for 2 rotations. But if you don't, you might need to get this back. And let's say you see that you don't have enough mana to drop 3 blaze ups. Just drop 1 and go for it, you know? You're going to have a lower chance at crit, but you should be fine. And the reason you want to burn your enemies is right here. The Pitmaster. When attacking enemies inflicted with burn, increases skill critical hit damage and increases skill critical hit rate based on the number of flame zones created on the battlefield. So that's why you want 3 or more to benefit from that the most. Just look at the cooldown on our ultimate. Take a look. This is crazy. Look how fast it goes up. And this does so much damage. It's ridiculous. Less than 10 seconds is insane for this ultimate. Let's be honest. So if you're looking for a ability heavy build that feels, once again, like a sorcerer in like MMOs, this is gonna be for you. Okay, that's enough. I'm not gonna damage him more. Watch this. He doesn't like it. Let me tell you that much. He did not like that. And he's not gonna like this either. Nope. He doesn't like it at all. Having that super, or should I say ultimate, what is that, like a 7-second cooldown on our ultimate? That's how you do it. That's how you do it right there. Doesn't get better than that. It just doesn't. If you guys did enjoy the video, and only if you did, slap the like button, sub to the channel. I got more content on the way. That's gonna be it for this video. As always, stay positive, stay disciplined, and I'll see y'all on the next one.
Let's go! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
I mean, we literally have the best community of all time. Oh! Oh, he got no scoped.